Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Center for Self-Enhancement. We are super excited to be open again. My name is Lieber Ford. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Self-Enhancement. As you know, we've had a difficult year where we've been closed. The building has been closed, but the activities have not stopped. So we're excited to gather again in small groups safely using all of the guidelines that have been given to us to make sure we can keep doing this work in an effective way. Most importantly, we want you to feel safe. We want you to feel like this is a space that has been made safe for you. So if anything comes up, we want you to communicate and let us know. And we also will want you to make sure that you read the guidelines, go over the guidelines so that you can make sure the kids are safe. At the end of the day, this is about you and I and all of us coming together safely so we can keep doing this important work called Self-Enhancement Incorporated Services. Thank you guys for sticking with us and hanging through this.
There are certain protocols that have been with us since the start of the pandemic, and many of those will remain in place. SEI has done an excellent job in social distancing, washing our hands, and keeping our mask on. So these next few measures have become COVID common sense. Mask and face coverings are effective at source control because they act as barriers to block infectious droplets from spreading to others nearby. Ensure your mask covers the mouth and that it rests snugly above the nose and on the sides of the face. When utilizing a face shield, it is strongly recommended to continue to wear a face covering rather than relying on the shield alone. In addition to face coverings, strive to maintain at least 6 feet of distance. If you are working with smaller children, it may be helpful to use floor markings to help visualize 6 feet. With social distancing, always remember a face covering is not a replacement for social distancing. Both should be used properly to ensure everyone's safety. Lastly, all people on site should be advised and encouraged to frequently wash their hands or use hand sanitizer. The CDC recommends washing your hands for a minimum of 20 seconds. Be sure to lather the back of your hands, between your fingers, and under your nails. If you need a timer, hum the happy birthday song from beginning to end twice. In your head, of course.
The COVID-19 virus is primarily spread from person to person through respiratory droplets. When you're outside, fresh air is constantly moving, dispersing these droplets, so you're less likely to breathe in enough respiratory droplets to become infected. This makes outdoor activities not only a great way to engage with students and families, but also one of the safest. When planning an activity, we recommend using an outdoor space first, before requesting the use of a facility. If your event or activity takes place outdoors, continue to maintain 6 feet of physical distance and use face coverings. If you plan to use the playground or shared equipment, they should be used one cohort at a time, making sure students wash or sanitize their hands before and after equipment use. The entrance adjacent to our parking lot is the only approved entrance for the Center for Self-Enhancement. If you're approved to host an activity within the building, create a schedule and stagger the arrival and dismissal time to decrease the chances of crowding. If you're expecting a larger group, ensure individuals are at least 6 feet apart and standing in a single file line. Currently, all SEI staff must submit a building request prior to entering the CFP building or the SEI Center. Requests should be made a minimum of 24 hours in advance and separated by the day. Upon entering the facility, each person is required to be wearing protective equipment and have their temperature checked. The following questions should also be asked before granting any individual access to the building. 1. Have you had a positive COVID-19 test in the past 14 days? 2. In the past 14 days, have you been in close contact with anyone that you know had COVID-19 or COVID-like symptoms? 3. Do you have any COVID-19 symptoms that are not caused by another condition? 4. In the past 14 days, has a medical professional required you to isolate or quarantine? If the answer is yes to any of these questions, do not let them enter the building. Immediately separate them from other people and arrange a ride home or to a medical facility if needed. Each site should have its own temperature reading device at the entrance. At the Center for Self-Enhancement, lower your head towards the temperature reader, align your face within the lines, and wait until a temperature is given.
Normal temperature.
The CDC considers a fever as any temperature greater than 100.4 degrees. If a fever is detected, do not allow the individual to enter the building and follow the appropriate procedures. Once an acceptable temperature is confirmed, you may enter the building, but be sure to hit a hand sanitizer station on your way in.
When choosing a space for an activity, consider the size and activity of your cohort. Classrooms should have a maximum of 10 students, with each person sitting at their own desk. Each desk should be 6 feet apart and each person should utilize their own materials. If you are meeting with a larger group or are conducting an activity that requires movement, consider larger spaces like the auditorium or gymnasium. The gymnasium is the largest meeting space in the facility. If you are approved to use this space, we recommend propping one of the exit doors open to allow the circulation of outside air. If you plan on using equipment, each person should have their own. For example, if you are playing basketball, each person should have their own ball that only they rebound and shoot. Whichever meeting space you decide to use, there should always be hand sanitizer near each entrance, and all common areas should be sanitized thoroughly prior to entering and exiting. The maximum number of occupants should be listed outside of each room, including the restroom. If a member of your cohort has to use the restroom, please allow only one participant at a time. If you notice that the maximum number of occupants has been reached for a restroom, please use a different restroom or wait outside until someone exits. Transition areas like hallways and stairs should be kept clear. Communicate with others using the building and stagger transition times to avoid crowding. The cafeteria is off limits. Any food services provided should be done during dismissal and packed in to-go bags or containers. If your site will be providing food services, we recommend having a table of prepared meals that students can take as they leave.
All SEI programs will follow the state of Oregon's Ready Schools Safe Learners Guidance. To do so, it will require each of us doing our part to keep our students, families, and ourselves as safe as possible. Each programming site should have an assigned safety and risk management lead. These individuals should be responsible for protocol updates, contact tracing, incident reports, and conveying information to our directors. Like all we do at Self-Enhancement, it takes a village.
Well, y'all, we began this together and we will end this together. That's how it always works. No one is left behind. Much love.